Manchester clubs strengthen their positions in a bad weekend for the North London clubs.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You right?
Yeah, mate. Yourself?
Well, better than I was yesterday.
Slightly depressed, Tate.
I was very disappointed yesterday. Should be the word. Bit of a grey mark on a wonderful weekend, though.
Yeah, it was good, very good when it started Saturday with your friend Alberto that you introduced me to.
Yes, Alberto made the trip down from Madrid and came to watch Spurs versus Bournemouth on the Saturday with us two, and then me, Alberto, and I went to the London Stadium to watch West Ham versus Arsenal, and then he's actually going off to Stamford Bridge on Tuesday to watch Chelsea versus
his beloved Madrid,
and then I think he flies back Wednesday to go out on Saturday to watch Madrid, whoever
Does
they
he?
play. Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, no. Alberto, pleasure meeting you, and thanks for coming. But I'm sure they'll win tomorrow night, won't they?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. Yeah. You'd like to think Frank gets 4 out of 4.
Yeah, they've got to win. They're not lucky in Madrid, but Madrid were comfortable and they 2-0, and Chelsea had 10 men. They were pretty comfortable in the game.
But no, really fun weekend, and obviously you would have seen from the socials we were very active.
Yes,
posting some stuff on the gram, and this episode will sort of follow that. Really, we're going to speak in depth about the Spurs game, things are going on at Spurs, moving on to the West Ham Arsenal, a bit on Arsenal and Man City a little bit, and then moving on for a quick little segment on Brighton and Aston Villa. We actually have some fan questions to answer, and then Team of the Week, winner loser, and then obviously the answer for the teaser.
Yes.
Start with that then, might as well. Tonight's game is Leeds versus Liverpool. This actually, I think, is the hardest teaser I've ever done. I'm not going to ask you to name all of them because I think it's too hard, but a total of 13 players have featured for both Liverpool and Leeds in the Premier League. Can you name 5? And for everyone over 5, I'll be very impressed.
Yeah, that's what I need time, but yeah, we'll give that a go at the end.
Yeah. Right, so let's start with Tottenham Hotspur versus Bournemouth.
Yeah,
instant reaction.
Just that, but yeah, I took you and Alberto and thought, surely Bournemouth at home, have all our fixtures that we've got left. That's just got, whether it's, I didn't think it was going to be an easy win, but surely that's a win. But yeah, it's carried on the theme of the whole season and what we've been like, for seems like forever. I've got it, but yeah, since, I don't know, it's probably since Mourinho come in, we've been what you saw on the weekend, exactly what it's been like since Mourinho, Nuno, Conte obviously, and now Stellini's in charge. But yeah, we'll talk about the game. Shall we talk about it?
Well, just like a bit leading up to it, really. I was thinking, like we all said, we were sitting in the pub thinking you've got to win this. But again, the atmosphere wasn't really very positive, was it? It was. Oh yeah, we're only here because football is like our drug, and we're obliged to be there because we want to be there, and that's like the atmosphere. From your friends I met and your friends are from the ground. They're like, here we go again. Like, surely we got to win this. But started off okay, but starting from the team that came out, the starting lineup, like we said in the pub, we're just boring, stale.
And nothing changed.
Nothing's changed.
We don't change the formation. We don't change the way we played. Obviously, the same players we have are going to play. There's nothing. Like I said,
we all knew this team wasn't going to play. We all said it out in the pub.
You said it, and you support Arsenal and don't even follow Tottenham, but you man for man called exactly what he was going to play, and that's what it was. Yeah.
But you started off okay. Son scored a good ball from long leg, cut back from Perisic, and then Son hit it in the corner. Knocking the ball around nice. A couple of, I think Kane had a snapshot over the bar and whatnot. Bournemouth didn't really threaten.
No.
Until I think it was like the 28th minute and the game turned on its head.
Yeah,
when Longley went down injured.
It was a bit late. It was 35th actually.
35th,
so Sanchez even on for less time, but 35th he got injured. Sanchez comes on, and then Sanchez show took over, and they scored a few minutes later. Didn't they? I've got here the guy that scored, Vina. Think he's Uruguayan. That's his 5th appearance. That was his first start. So he's made 4 as a sub for Bournemouth, and he scores in his first start for Bournemouth. Again, he hasn't played a full game. The 4 previous were all sub appearances, and he gets through and dinks one over Lloris. 1-1.
Yeah, well, about a couple minutes, probably was the 4 minutes that he was on the pitch prior to the goal. I found it interesting that Romero then switched from right centre back over to the left side. What's that? Is Sanchez obviously that bad that he has to play in that preferred position?
It's because he's a natural right footer, so for him he probably can't comprehend being on the left side. So, and even at that level, the price we paid for him, he still can't play on the left side. So they compensate and change the team.
Is he fault though at that goal though?
I'll get into Sanchez. I'll get into Sanchez, but he comes on and 2 of the goals he was a part of. He wasn't solely to blame. There's plenty of other players on the pitch and they've played the whole season. But that's on Sanchez. He got subbed in the 35th minute, and we'll get into it. I might as well talk about it now, but subbed off in the 58th, and he, like I said, he was at fault, involved with Bournemouth's first and second. But I totally disagree with the abuse and the booing and the backlash he got. I understand. I get it. I know why they're doing it, but he's like a minuscule problem. He's just he's a scapegoat. We'll just use him. He's been rubbish. He's come on and we suddenly conceded twice. But I could go on and on about the issues with Tottenham. I just think the treatment he received was totally wrong. But I'll go into it more. But we'll talk about the goals in the game.
Because I think it was Porro back pass that Solanke intercepted, then slipped in through, like I said, a little dink. I still think the keeper should do a bit better there. Because I remember I was saying it's either going to be a penalty or it's going to be a goal. Because he went down too low. He didn't keep his body upright.
He didn't make a decision. Did he come out? He didn't come out lightning quick. He sort of just went out a few yards and, like I said, didn't really make a save or an attempt at it. And 1-1, and then
1-1 going into half
their
time.
tails are up, aren't they?
And like I said, within 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the second half, Bournemouth find a bit of space on that left-hand side, Spurs' right-hand side, slipped through Solanke. It was a couple of deflections, weren't it? And he nipped in, left foot strike into the corner.
Because in that one again, Sanchez
He was at fault then, I think.
Yeah, he got beat by whoever it was, 1-on-1. Then he ran back, made the tackle, but the tackle led straight for Solanke, who obviously slotted home. And that was just the end for really Sanchez.
30 seconds later, he got the ball and it was just a chorus of boo.
Yeah, it was, I'm not
we
really...
were laughing, wasn't we?
I couldn't believe it. I've not really
experienced
experienced that before. And like you said, instantly he got the ball and everyone was just on him straight away. But we've done it before, not done it before, but Royale did get a lot of stick and probably still does. But there's I hate going on about it, but Højbjerg is a prime example. Like, people actually think he's good, and I
think he's
think
a passion merchant.
I think slowly but surely people are realising how terrible that footballer is. If you watch him for I think it's the third goal. The third goal he gets beat 1-on-1.
He gets turned inside out then.
Yeah, but either it's just before that, or I think it's just before Richarlison's header or something. There's a moment he basically bottles a tackle.
It was Richarlison's header, that was it. Yeah, because he was down for the corner
on the halfway line. Wasn't it? Yeah, and Højbjerg should have won the ball. It was 80-20 to Højbjerg, and then he goes down holding his shin, saying he got hurt, all this rubbish. But the passion merchant, the Viking in the middle, he couldn't win a tackle that was 80% in his favour. So, and there's more to it. There's you could I could have endless episodes about that human, but there's plenty more wrong with Spurs than just Sanchez.
I mean, it was a noticeable from a neutral watching the game and being at the ground that there was quite a bit of stick for Højbjerg there. Yeah. More than I would have expected. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I wasn't sure. I mean, Naby's hasn't been great. I wasn't sure if it was just like your stick, your one that you've gone for.
Exactly. Yeah.
And mine was Mustafi, but it was some player that you. Mustafi then Cedric. There was two that I just can't.
Yeah, for whatever reason you don't like. That's fine. That happens. But he was
getting a bit of. Because it was just, look, let's run around. Yeah. Because we're running around, it looks like we're doing something good.
And I'm doing actions now that you can't see it, but he's like clapping and giving it a fist pump and cheering up the crowd. But no, he's got to look at himself first. He's got to actually be a centre midfielder, be a centre midfielder you're expected to be. And we said it in the game, but I'd rather have Bournemouth centre midfielders, 2 of them. Yeah. I couldn't even name you them. I don't know who they are. Lerma's one of them.
It was Lerma and Billing, wasn't it? I thought Billing played really well.
I'd rather have both of them than Skip and Højbjerg. Because Skip, like we said, I said to you at the time, but Skip's played one full season in Championship. It was obviously very good. and we sort of like him because he's come through Spurs and he's a Tottenham boy, quote unquote, and you sort of give him a bit of slack. But then Højbjerg's next to him. Højbjerg is just awful, just an awful footballer. Shouldn't maybe should be in a bottom side, a battling for relegation team, not a team who we think we might be a top six. Shouldn't he be top six? Like if he was, he's an awful player, awful.
Well, a couple of things I noticed from watching the game, and I mentioned to you that I think Spurs' main issues, like at present day, right now, is why Stellini in charge.
Yeah.
There's no difference of Conte.
No.
He's Conte's mate. He's been Conte's assistant. He's probably believed, if you're going to be someone's assistant, surely you have to believe in their same aspects and their philosophy.
Exactly,
so the three at the back remains horrific. Doesn't work. And then you've still got the two holding midfielders in there that from your three centre halves and your two holding midfielders, you can't progress the ball. No. And your goalkeeper as well. So that's 6 players there.
Yeah. Who are crucial to that.
Who are like a core, but who can't progress the ball whatsoever in the pitch. You've got Lloris can't kick. Lloris is the best lofted, left-footed
off the pitch,
or to someone's neck.
Yeah. Normally the other team.
Romero doesn't want to be there.
No,
he's completed football.
He's won the World Cup.
He doesn't want to be there anymore.
What does he need to do?
All he wants to do is make horrific challenges. Like he wants to just
kill someone. Yeah. Hurt someone.
Without using a PlayStation term, he just wants to press square all the time. He doesn't want to do anything.
He's constantly like that. You're right. He's won the World Cup. Why does he want to play for Tottenham?
Yeah, his head's been gone all season, really. That's something he's... Even before the World Cup, he had that injury for a couple of weeks, so he didn't play.
Yeah.
Dyer, everyone knows what Dyer is. He's just... He's box standard.
Yeah.
He can't... But he, again, can't progress the ball. No. And Longley or Sanchez, take your pick. Like, there was a great moment where Lloris had the ball, passed it a yard to Dyer, who then passed it back, and they passed it again, because none of them wanted to grab the ball, grab the game.
I think they highlight on the highlights, but when it gets out to the left side, Perisic or someone, they loft it all the way back to Romero, and he's basically on Lloris's feet, and he just chests it back to Lloris, and then we're playing. It's like on that, like, teams do it. Arsenal play it from the back. City obviously play the way they play. Liverpool do whatever they want to do. Burn of old, with Dyche, they were a bit more direct. They had a style of play and that they had an objective. But Spurs, I don't know what we're trying to do. We think, all right, we play it from the back because that's the right thing to do, but we don't actually know where to go, what players to give it to. It goes to our centre midfielders. They're clueless. They lose the ball, just knock it back. Then it ends up with Dyer, who's under pressure. Then he just ends up launching it, and it's been that way. Like I said, it's been that way since Mourinho, because of Kane, because of Son, and how well they were doing. It's like, right, just get the ball to Kane and Son, and if we can't get it to those two players, then we're knackered. And this. You've seen that this whole season. And
that's when you were counter-attacking team, and that's how you were creating problems for the opposition. You were sitting in and then pouncing. But now if teams get ahead of you, like from the 51st minute to the 85th minute, I can't really remember a chance.
No.
Kane had a header that was just over, it was a bit too high for him, and that was about it. Because they were pretty comfortable, I thought, Bournemouth.
Yeah, Tottenham's the easiest game to have.
And then obviously it was from a long throw in, so it wasn't even a passage of play. Nice bit of passage of play. It was one long throw in, got headed across, and then Danjuma smashed it in. It was a lovely finish from the keeper, to be fair. And then it turned into panic mode, and then that's when Spurs were better, because it was a bit frantic. No one really had the position. You had 5 attackers on the pitch, I think. Was it Kulusevski, Kane, Son, Richarlison, and Danjuma. 5 was it 5-1-4, whatever many numbers that makes up. Obviously had the corner, and then Richarlison's header was inches wide. Actually, Richarlison got goal disallowed as well, didn't he, for offside?
Yeah, he was offside. Danjuma was offside in the build-up.
Yeah, but the corner came in and was inches wide from Richarlison. And then
he's got to score.
Yeah, he's got to score that.
60 million pounds. Yeah. Well, if you're worth 60 pence, you put that in, you score.
And then the ball came. I think it was a Adam Smith long ball up. That's pathetic defending from Porro.
Yeah, it was Porro, wasn't it? Because I thought it was
Romero,
yeah. But for some reason, Porro's the other side of Romero, and he just gets pinned,
off the turned, ball. And he plays the ball across to Tawara.
He goes to Solanke, and then Solanke dribbles at Romero. It's Romero and Højbjerg for some reason, and then it gives it to that Otara, whatever his name was.
A dummy, Sims in a hot dog, goes to the left, cuts in with the right, and then smashes it in.
Yeah, very good finish.
And the stadium's stunned.
Yeah,
but it's just like, how has that happened from obviously getting back to 2-2 and then having the mad 5 minutes of we can do this,
we've had this problem the whole year or forever, how long you want to say, but that's an example there. Bournemouth at home with 2-2. Right, yes, you want to go for the winner, but we're playing Bournemouth. We should not be conceding. We scored in the 89th minute as it is. We should not be conceding again. Everton recently away, we concede and we don't win the game. So,
what I think is more damning about that as well is the fact that Bournemouth also had the hope that they could go on and win it still.
Yeah, they had no fear of us. Yes, they conceded an equaliser, but yeah, they're not concerned at all.
The only comparison I can give it to is earlier in the season when we played them and we went 2-0 down, got it back to 2-2, and I know we had 20 minutes to get a goal, but they were pinned. They were not. They didn't get out for 20 minutes. Yeah. But they didn't feel confident enough to even try to get out.
No. Well, they played us twice. They had 4 points.
They had three players up there. They had three or four players up there in the 95th minute trying to get a goal.
It's just, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying about Sanchez and the fans' reaction and all the rest of it. There's all those goals. There's multiple players involved. There's multiple players at fault. And Højbjerg's a prime example. But yeah, it was just. But I thought we'd win. I expected us to win, but when it happened and we lost. Just it is what it is. That is us. That has been Tottenham the whole year,
season,
and people are oblivious to it.
No, but just touching on Bournemouth, what a result for them!
Yeah, brilliant.
And that lifts them within 6 points of Chelsea.
They're now 14th,
which is absolutely mad. 33. They are 6 clear of relegation, which is some achievement. They're 6 clear of Forest in 18th,
and that's their first victory away at Spurs in the Prem. Lost all the previous 5. Like I said, 6 points clear of the bottom 3. Yeah, and I think he said, but Bournemouth win back-to-back league games in the league since the first time since February 2020.
Yeah, they've won 3 of the last 4, which is really, really good for them.
And yeah, they obviously last week they beat Leicester as well, which is a team around them, and beat Spurs at the weekend. So yeah, they won 5 out of the last 9. They're doing well.
Well, it is funny how football turns, and obviously you got all twists and turns still to come for the remaining 7 games. But we were sitting there talking at the pub. And I was talking up Spurs' top 4 hopes. So you think, no, but it's funny how it happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've seen Newcastle get battered by Villa. United, obviously, have had a few injuries. You think, no, Martinez now for the rest of the season. Maguire's going to have to play every game. Rashford out for a couple of weeks. Shaw's not playing, so they've got 3 of their back 4 not playing. The best player isn't playing. Could they slip up? You've still got to play them.
Yeah. We've got to play both of them, so United.
Yeah, no, that's what we were saying. Yeah. But then you think performance like that, my God,
no.
Well,
and we might win somehow. We might win one of those games, but yeah, no, we just don't. We're not good enough. So quite simply, we're not good enough. We don't deserve it, if you can say that. But yeah, I wouldn't expect us to finish any higher. Well, any higher than 5th. If we finish 5th, that's pretty good going.
But yeah, it was a shambles really from what you expected to be a routine afternoon. Really didn't turn out to be one.
No.
Have you got anything else to add?
Oh,
I would say beloved Tottenham, but
no, not at the minute. No, just like I said, that's what we've been seeing the whole year, and like I said, arguably since Mourinho, we had Kane and Son on fire throughout that period from Mourinho to now. Now we had Kulusevski come in, Bentancur come in January, and they were an injection of basically good footballers, and they were something new, and it was good for that back end of the last season. Bentancur was good this year, but in a struggling team, and then got obviously a season-ending injury. Kulusevski nowhere near what he was, because he's sort of not been found out, but he's come back in the new season. Everyone's aware of how good he can be and what he can do and whatnot, so that he's taken a back step. Obviously, Son just fallen off face of the earth. And Kane's still scoring goals, but even Kane can't. The quality he's got still can't do it all and everything that we need. So it's
that was the real telling thing watching him live on Saturday. How deep he had to keep coming, because you can see he's getting frustrated. Like I mentioned earlier, they can't progress the ball through the pitch, so he has to come down to be able to play the quarterback pass, to be able to play these. But
again, he does that. He does it every game. But
because you can tell him getting so frustrated that he can't get the ball. So the only way to get it is him get it himself.
Yeah.
Give it to Son or whoever's out wide, then have to bust a gut to go at the other.
But we always say like Kane gets the ball there, but he wants to pass the ball to Kane. Like he doesn't want to pass it to whoever's playing. Richarlison, Son at the minute. Like he wants to get the ball, like you said, ping it 40 yards to himself, then get on the end of it and score. Like it's just it must be so frustrating for him. Very frustrating. But like you said, why is Stellini there? Why is Stellini all the staff? I think because I was speaking to a few people and someone made a good point that maybe obviously it's a lot more than we ever know, but maybe there's something more to it because Conte left and his brother left, Antonio Conte's brother, who was like a coach or fitness coach, whatever. So there must be more to it. If we've kept every single staff member, kept his number 2, I don't know if it's health reasons or something else has happened at home or something like with himself or his family, his friends. It's got to be more to it than just we sack Conte because we're rubbish. Like
you would think logic would just Mason to end the season. He might try a 4-3-3. He might try a 4-2-3-1. Might try something different.
He might actually play Dan Juma for longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, or do a 4-4-2 and stick Kane and Richarlison up front together, or I don't know.
Yeah, I just think we need to. I've said it for a while now, but we need to go for that ambitious, hungry manager who wants to succeed and try and prove something. They might only be there for 3-4 years, but we're done with a big name. We're not that club. We're not simply good enough to do that. And yeah, I'd rather see Company get the job. I'd rather see the sport. I don't know nothing about him, but the sporting manager.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Ryan Mason get the job before they give it to Brendan Rodgers, or at this point, maybe not Graham Potter over Mason, but that sort of name that's just been around. We know them now. Like I'd rather just give it to an unknown,
someone new. Yeah.
Yeah, and totally change the way we play and some of the players. And to be honest, I'd even give it to one of those before Poch as well. At the minute, and I'm not one of those. You've probably heard it.
They were all singing his 2-1 down. They're all singing his name.
Yeah,
the whole stadium. Well, not the whole stadium. It was
majority,
quite clear that a large group of fans were singing his name.
Yeah,
wanting him back.
But why? What? It ended terribly with him. Like the last, yes, we got to the Champions League final, and that was incredible. But the league form was awful. Like we were an awful side, and he was part of that. And these players that we talk about were still there when he was in charge, and they're still there now, and they would still probably play if he came back. And obviously, I love Poch, and he was brilliant, but I don't think we should have got rid of him at the start when we got rid of him. But now, don't go back. Don't go back for him. And if he was like, if I'm Pochettino, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back and work for Levy, work for that with that squad. No way.
No, it's a very, very valid point you make there. And who have you got next up? Are you play at the weekend, or is it you got a weekend off?
No, we got Newcastle away. So that'd be good.
Well, yes, on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, well, I think that lose that, and that's the final nail in the coffin for top 4.
Yeah, I think so. And they had a terrible result of the weekend, but yeah, they like Bournemouth, even like Brighton. We should have lost. We should have got beat. Sorry, at Brighton against Brighton.
Yeah,
we should have lost that game, and we didn't because of VAR and some horrible decisions. Basically, we weren't good. We didn't deserve to win that game. And yeah, Newcastle have again no fear when they play us.
Right, let's move on to game 2 of the weekend. Trip down to the London Stadium.
The Soulless Bowl.
Oh God! Before we even get into the game, I'll start with that. Getting to the ground is just horrific. We're from Essex, Chelmsford. Trains normally at weekends just been awful at the moment. There's no room on that train. It's full of just absolute West Ham oiks.
How many flat caps?
It's not even. It's just. I know they all get a bad name but my God, actually witnessing it firsthand was just a really, really bad experience. Even you get to Stratford, and then you're like sardines from on the train, getting off the train down. Why they've built a 65,000 seat stadium next to probably one of the biggest shopping centres in London is beyond me. You can't move from literally the time until you get into the stadium. Yeah. It's all one way round. It's just awful. You get there and some DJs, it looks like your buddy Box Park's playing up there. It's just the ground's so ugly from the outside. It's only 10 years old as well. It looks awful.
Yeah, but it's not a football stadium, is it?
I don't know. I wasn't having the most pleasant experience. It doesn't help that I was extremely hungover and was quite irritable at the time.
And you're surrounded by just people in general, but,
but
obviously West Ham fans.
We mentioned it on Saturday. I said your brother's tweet made me die with
it's perfect
about their little tick they've got. They've just got to shout Irons, and it doesn't matter whether you're 6, 16, 26 or 68. Every 45 seconds, someone is just going. And it's,
and it
when I get it, it's a bit of a laugh for you, but it's like, oh my god, and it's just, I don't know, it's just.
And it doesn't matter if you're at a wedding, you're at the football, you're in a European country, and there's someone that's a West, they'll do it. They'll give it the old arms across.
I'm glad you brought that point up, because what happened when we were on the train to Spurs on Saturday, as you go past the stadium, it was on the Saturday before. Just you hear it on the train, don't you?
Yeah.
Just,
unbelievable. It's
just
they can't help themselves.
Irons echo down the train.
It's like you said, it's just a strange tick or innate within their body. They must do it, but
no. Let's go. Prior to the game, Arsenal named one change: Zinchenko out for Tierney. On paper, people might not think, oh, that's not too bad. It's only a left back, but for Arsenal, that is a gigantic blow, because he's more than a left back. He plays midfield, he plays right mid, he plays all over the park. And Tierney's a good defender. Don't get me wrong, he's a good little left back, but he's crap on the ball. And you notice that now. Like
he's just again, like we say, but he's a drop off to what you're saying, like Zinchenko's offering and can do.
He's such a drop off, and in terms of build-up plan, that's again like what Spurs struggled with. Arsenal really struggled with it after 20 minutes or so, but that's why Partey had a bad game. I think that's why we didn't have much control of the ball, and that's why Arteta eventually hooked him off and put Xhaka left back, because he's more of the Zinchenko mould. It sounds ridiculous, but he's more of a Zinchenko mould of a left back, because he's not really a left back, you know what I mean? But that was the only change, and we started off unbelievable.
Yeah, we were started house on fire, didn't you?
Playing like prime Barcelona of 2010, and brought the ball across to Ben White, who drilled it across, and Jesus back post 1-0, 7 minutes. I was obviously in the in the home end. Sorry.
Did you give a little fist bump, or
I told Alberto before the game, like, don't celebrate, but he was more celebrating.
Really?
Not celebrating, but he was like, little argy-bargy, like trying to give you a little nudge, trying to make me laugh, and I was stone-faced, like, we're in game mode here. 2-0. Didn't even like wink or blink. And this is a story I was going to tell for the pod. At 2-0, some West Ham fan round in front of us has called out a guy like 2 rows in front of me, going, I won't say the explicits. Yeah. He's a gooner.
Really?
And he went and got the steward. He marched the steward up the stairs, and he was like, "Get that gooner out!
No
Get
way.
him out!"
No.
And the guy's like, "What are you on about, mate? What are you on about?" No, I'm not.
Oh,
no, I'm not.
Was it? Did he go, or what was the deal?
The remainder. The steward was like, "How can I prove he's an Arsenal fan?"
Yeah.
And he obviously, from what I kept an eye on him, he was clearly an Arsenal fan, because he didn't move at all for any West Ham things or anything.
Did you have to get up for the goal, like for West Ham's goals?
Well, I'll get onto that in a sec, because obviously Arsenal were pinging it round, and I mean, the listeners that know me personally know that I get really stressed and anxiety for these games. My heart rate's going through the roof. I was so hungover, and we got to 2-0, and I don't know why, I was having a bit of a turn, and I felt so lightheaded and dizzy, and like I was like, I need sugar in my body immediately. Like, I just out of nowhere, I just had
felt
awful. Arsenal pinging it round, and you see all the West Ham fans just leaving, or they're going out for beers. It was
inside. It was 10 minutes, but it was like 8.5 minutes. Yeah. It was 2-0 or 9 minutes.
And they were like, "Oh, for God's sake!"
I texted you. I said they must be leaving. Like, you were ridiculous.
And Arsenal were just. This is the point I want to get onto, but Arsenal were just playing the ball around, just slow football, trying to just kill the game. Yeah. So I thought, perfect opportunity. I just need to go down to the kiosk, get a Mars bar, get some drink, get a Coke down me or something. Quickly went down there, got a Mars bar, and as I was ordering, I heard, "Hey!" And they were cheering, and it was a little cheer, and I thought, have Arsenal scored? Because it wasn't very loud. And then I hear off, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's happened here? So I rang up back up again with my Mars bar hanging out my mouth, and then Alberto's got his head in his hands.
No,
And I see Martinelli.
Giving it away.
I see Martinelli walking towards the tunnel.
Do you think he's off?
I thought, has he been sent off here? No, not again. So I sat down and he goes, mate, no. He's just penalty West Ham. I thought, oh. God's sake. Who's been sent off? He goes, no. The VAR are looking at it. Obviously, they were looking at whether it was a dive or whether it was a handball. Or I'm not even going to get into the handball because it's happened now. I'm over it now. Basically, a penalty, missed, but everyone was standing up, so I was already stood up to watch the penalty.
So nothing. There wasn't a spotlight on you.
So that went in, and right. This is another point I want to make. Arsenal conceded a penalty. Arsenal have conceded 6 penalties this season. Only Bournemouth and Forest have conceded more. And those who know me as well will know I've got a right sticker for Arsenal goalkeepers getting nowhere near penalties. Like, I don't expect the goalkeeper to save penalties.
No.
Like, you must do your homework. You can't get Arsenal goalkeepers can't get done out every single time. Wrong way again.
No,
So we've conceded 6 penalties this season. Last season, 7. The year before that was the one low point. Probably because it was lockdown. I don't know. The lockdown football was just weird. 3 penalties. 2019-20, 8 penalties. 2018-19, 7 penalties. 2017-18, 6. And in 2016-17, 10 penalties. That is a total, of the last 7 seasons, of conceding 47 penalties.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
The last goalkeeper to save a penalty for Arsenal was Leno on Boxing Day of 2020. And before that was Leno again against Southampton in 2019. And then before that was Cech against Deeney in 2018. So out of the 47 penalties, we've saved 3 of them.
Bloody hell.
And obviously,
that's awful.
There's a theme of penalties in this game.
Yeah.
But as soon as Arsenal concede a penalty, if the striker hits the target, it goes in. Because the only ones we've missed, Salah's one he went wide, and Bamford one he put wide.
And
but then the season before, Fernandes missed it, put it wide, and Ramsdale runs round with his shirt off,
claims it as if he's done anything.
Claims he's saved it. But get a penalty against Arsenal, goal.
Yeah.
You as a Spurs fan should know that more than anyone.
My man Kane loves it.
But no, there we go. Half time, 2-1. Okay. Annoying because 2-0 up again, and I'll get on to my point I'll make after we get to the full time whistle. Second half starts, it's a bit the same. The Arsenal get a corner. Couldn't really see from where I was sitting because you sit a mile away from the pitch at the ground. Martinelli, I think, scoops the ball forward, and the ref gives penalty handball. Antonio, watching it back, probably it's handball.
Yeah, definitely.
Penalty.
Definitely.
Right. Saka steps up. Why this little trend now is happening where you have the blocker, don't you? Who has the ball.
Yeah,
Jesus is the blocker this time.
Yeah,
it's just give him the ball.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows Arsenal knew that Saka was going to take that penalty. But I whispered in Alberto's ear, I was like, I don't fancy him here. Only because you go into history. Fabianski, one of the teasers earlier in the season was Fabianski holds the record for the most penalty saves in Premier League history, 11. Saved one last year against Lacazette. He clearly does his homework on penalty takers. Maybe because West Ham concede more, I don't know, but he clearly does his homework.
But as a goalie, it's easy. It's easy. It's such a simple. They don't even do it. The coach or the assistant goalie, whatever, they do it for them. They go, right. For example, West Ham on the weekend, right? Saka, if he takes it, he's going to go here. If Jesus happens to take it, he's taking 4 here, but 2. Like, do you know what I mean? It's simple. It's a simple bit of homework or just a bit of work for your job on a weekend. Very simple.
Saka steps up. Awful penalty. Like, okay, all players miss penalties. He's missed 2 high-profile ones now, but he's also scored 2 this season in crunch moments against Liverpool and
he scored 4.
Man City. He's had 2 penalties this season.
Last 4 pens he's scored: City, Liverpool, United, and like you said, 2 this year. But against the big sides, City, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea. But on the weekend he did miss a crucial penalty, and could have been the game there and then.
It would have been the game. It would have killed it. They just got back into it. Would have killed it off. 3-1, 52nd minute. I think Arsenal would have been. You would have thought home and host. Yeah. But just Fabianski obviously went the right way. He didn't save it because it went wide, but he's obviously done his homework and thought if he takes one, or he's read the body language right, and he's just guessed the right way. Shambles of penalty. Arsenal then just West Ham are up all the oiks are up, ready to go.
Well, like you said, they've scored just for half time. Yeah. Saka's then just missed a penalty early on, and of course they're well up for it. Then.
And it comes from a long throw. Kufal long throw headed out, and then Carrier knocks it back in, and Bowen scores on the volley.
Ramsdale.
Good finish. Ramsdale should save that.
Yeah.
I think should save that. He gets a good hand to it. But should say. Funny enough, as we were walking out the ground in our stampede, basically, I was walking next to Ramsdale's dad the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you leave at full time, or did you leave before?
No, I left at full time and stayed probably 20 minutes after the game as well.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Head in hands.
It's like you said before, the ground is terrible getting in, but even worse getting out. But.
Yeah. And the rest of the... Oh, what did they score? I've got it here. They scored in the 54th minute. Yeah. Arsenal didn't really do much. West Ham had hit the outside of the bar post, but...
it weren't... I was going to say, it weren't... Like, after that initial 20 minutes, whatever it was, of Arsenal absolutely dominating, that it was a relatively even game. It weren't like West Ham were brilliant or Arsenal were just so... Obviously, Arsenal weren't as good as they've been, but yeah, it was just a pretty even game after that. And yeah, big moments. They score 2-1 the way they did. Then Arsenal miss a penalty that gives West Ham the confidence to go forward, and they get another goal. And yeah, it was a pretty even game in the end, I think. Yeah. I
mean, what's irritated me, I've actually stayed away from the mainstream media and all this stuff, because you see the buzzword now is you and don't take this the wrong way, but as a Spurs fan, the word bottle, like, it's the most irritating word. I know people but you're bottling. If I'm honest, I don't think that's at all what Arsenal are doing. We're against probably one of the best teams ever to play in the Premier League. But for me, that last 2 weekends throwing this 2-goal lead away isn't through quote unquote bottling. It's irritating because it's cockiness that have done it for Arsenal, and that's the last thing I thought this team would do in April. There are reasons why I thought, and I've always maintained I don't think we're going to win the Premier League, because I don't think any human team can, unless you're playing by a different rule book that Man City do play by a different rule book, can win 14 games on the trot and get 95 points. How can you get 91 points and not win the league? Yeah. Like, it's mind-boggling. But for being 2-0 up, and Arsenal did it against Liverpool, and they did it again on Sunday, 2-0 up, early doors, or 20 minutes in, and they start playing 5-0 football, start playing champagne football, slowing the ball down, not playing that same intensity that they have done for the first 20 minutes to get themselves in that position. I know you can't play like that the whole game, because otherwise they would, but Man City always get that third. Get that third 35th minute, 42nd minute, kill it. Man City were 2-0 up after that in 9 minutes against Leicester. Arsenal were the same.
Yeah.
But they went and got that third. Killed it.
With Arsenal, it don't matter if you've been rubbish, or like you think you've been rubbish, or you're as good as you are now. You've always started games quickly, like especially when you're at Arsenal. It always feels the same with Spurs, but like when we go there. But yeah, that first 20 minutes you are lightning, and if you can weather that first 20 minutes, then you can get in the game. But this year you're different, because you're doing that first 20 minutes, but you've controlled lots of games. You've seen that game properly. You've scored your third, fourths, and the last 2 weeks, it just hasn't. It's the pressure is telling, and people, like you said, people use that word bottle. I again, like you said about Spurs, but I'll have a comment about the bottling of Tottenham. But yeah, the pressure is there. You saw that Saka misses that penalty. You concede after being 2-0 up against Liverpool. You do the same against West Ham. It's the cracks are appearing. There's a bit of a wobble, but saying all that, you can still win the Premier League. Like, whether you think you will or not, but if you beat City, you win the Premier League.
And that's a great point to get onto. I like that segue there. But I put a point there. When Arsenal play their game, it's too much for any team in the Premier League to deal with, apart from probably Man City. Yeah. They blow the like, whether you go to the toughest away ground, Anfield, we blew them away when we were on form, pinging the ball around nicely. As soon as we stop doing that and try something else, or try to be a bit more conservative, then it doesn't really go that way. And like you just said, yesterday I was thoroughly pissed off, cheesed off that didn't expect that. Didn't expect us to play like that, because we haven't had a crappy game like that where it was just a bit nothing. Like I said, it was Emery era football. It was just the first 20 minutes was unbelievable this season, but then after that it just tailed off. Maybe it was missing Zinchenko. Maybe it was missing. This is another point. We were missed 2 of our back 4, first choice back 4. Man City changed 2 of their back 4, and they brought in Walker and Laporte.
Yeah,
we had to bring in
Gabriel in a big moment makes a clumsy, stupid error. I know
Partey's fault, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
it was either a goal or that, wasn't it?
Yeah, possibly, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a big moment, and again, like you said previously in the start of the season, you said Gabriel's got something in him.
Clumsy,
yeah, he's got not maybe an error, but yeah, he's just a bit clumsy. He's a bit of a donut in certain moments, and yeah, he proved that again.
But the point you made, which after the last 24 hours, I've had time to fester on it, and Arsenal are 4 points clear. Obviously, the game at hand, so 1 point clear. If you're going to win the Premier League, and there's a quote, I can't remember who it says, but to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
right. Disappointment. Yeah, we've had the disappointment. Go and put a point right on Friday night. Bottom of the league at home, Southampton. Go win that.
Yeah.
And then you are going into playing the champions, the hardest game of the season, the cup final, away from home, 7 clear. Obviously, I know they've got 2 in hand.
Yeah.
Go put a, excuse my French, go put a fucking statement down.
Yeah.
If you win that, a miracle, you are 10 points clear with 5 games to go.
Yeah.
Forget the games in hand. Everyone's always said you want points on the board.
Yeah.
You are 10 points. Oh, this is all high priority, and we could be like 2 points clear, and they've got 2 games in hand. Like we lose that, which most people will say that, and ignore. I'm not mesh the player, but just try and focus on yourself, and just I don't know, just try and win. You can only win what's in front of you, and if we can navigate Southampton, then that's your chance. And if you don't win, don't lose. I know it sounds so simple and it's all words, but even if you get out of, like I've said it before, if you get out of Man City with a draw, I would question that maybe you're the favourites now.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've still got some tough games. Newcastle away, Chelsea at home now is a harder game than it was because it's been changed to a midweek, and I firmly believe that if it was Saturday at 5:30, Arsenal win, no worries. But yeah, and yeah, to be honest, the West Ham result is just totally throwing it up in the air for me, because I think Liverpool away is what it is. You can accept that. You weren't terrible, but the weekend West Ham, it was just a very poor performance, and the way West Ham have been this season, I just thought you'd expect to win, and obviously didn't happen. But yeah, the City game is the title decider. They'll obviously be the momentum's probably shifted towards them. They're going for everything. They're going for Champions League. They're going for the FA Cup. They're going for the league. They're on fire again at the perfect time with unbelievable players. But yeah, you can, with everyone suddenly now against you, you could actually still go there and win the league, win the game, win the league.
I mean, I got some numbers here. Arsenal have got 23 points from the last 27 available since that loss to City in February, sorry. But Man City have won their last 6 Premier League games. They've got 8 more to play, so they could conceivably win. I think they'll win their next 8, and they will have won 14 games on the trot. And this is another point to me that, quote unquote, bottling. You don't bottle a season if the team you're competing against wins 14 games on the trot last game of the season.
No.
And Man City hold the record for 18 wins on the trot, and they also hold the record for 15 wins on the trot. So they've been there. 14's nothing for them. They can quite easily do that. They're also going for the Champions League. They just brushed Barnaside 3-0. It's some team they're up against, and yes, we have had a great season so far, and it will be disappointing if it fizzles out. But you're like I said earlier, you're up against a team that has endless pots of money. They've got 600 Premier League charges against them. They're playing with a different rulebook. The rest of us are, and the only reason they are where they are is because they're owned by a Saudi state. And if we're all owned from Saudi states, then we're all on the same living field.
Yeah, they've got the best manager. Well, they pay for the best players, but
They've got a goal scorer who's got 42 goals this season.
He's an absolute freak. But Blue Moon. The Blue Moon will rise. The Blue Moon will rise. And but
like I said,
I can't accept Arsenal winning.
To my mate earlier, if Arsenal don't win it, I need City to go and win the treble and shove that down all them Essex Reds' throats.
I can't have Arsenal win it. But
that seems like a good time to take a break.
Yeah, we'll have a little pause, but
And
City. After the little Arsenal section and Tate's comments about West Ham Stadium, we actually put out a little poll on Instagram asking for people's thoughts on where they've been to their favourite stadium. We had a couple of responses. Andy, long-time listener, says San Siro for Milan Derby. Very good. San Siro is a beautiful stadium.
Lovely statement.
And Miles wanted Denny. He could have picked anywhere in the world. Anywhere. He could have. I mean, he's a bit of a rugby fan, so he might have only been to the Emirates or something. But his comment was Carrow Road.
The pride of East Anglia.
I don't know if that's a sly dig at JJ, but yeah, Miles has gone for Carrow Road. What about you, Tate?
The best one I've ever been to live would have to be the Bernabeu, I think. That or San Siro, but I would edge with Bernabeu. Just the history there, the stature of the team, the fact that they've got their 14 Champions Leagues on show everywhere, and now they're making it even bigger and better. We obviously spoke with Alberto at the weekend, and I just said to him, I support Tottenham, you support Arsenal, they're big clubs and done lots of things in their history, but yeah, Real Madrid is a whole different level of. And for him, he follows them. He's a season ticket holder. Goes to games. He genuinely 10 minutes from the ground.
Yeah, born in the city of Madrid. A genuine supporter, and they are worldwide. They are enormous. Yeah, it must be incredible. But yeah, Bernabeu's a great shout.
What about your one?
For me, been to Barcelona Nou Camp. That was incredible. But now also, I think it's to do with the game that you go and see. So obviously, I went there for Spurs when we drew and got through, and that was incredible. San Siro this year went to Milan, and yeah, brilliant stadium, but the game was just a nothing. Course, yeah, but that stadium is incredible. So probably Nou Camp for me, Barcelona. Obviously, yeah. Again, size of that club, the stadium's incredible. Yeah, that was good. So Messi came on for 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, it was very good. So yeah, good. Thank you to the boys that responded.
And then moving back to, like we said, start the show, we're going to talk about Brighton and Aston Villa, two of the underdogs this season that are really doing quite well and both had fantastic results at the weekend.
Yeah.
What's a quick one? We're on stadiums. You ever been to either of them two grounds?
I've been to Villa Park. Yeah, very nice, very good.
I've been there
stadium.
a couple of times and
bit of an old school one, and Tottenham normally do quite well there. And good little away section. So
it's fantastic in it on the side.
Yeah.
Talking of away sections and away days, we mentioned it on Saturday. If you could handwrite an away day,
Bournemouth, wow.
1-0 down,
1-1,
2-1 up, hanging on. 88th minute, your former striker scores against you and celebrates a little bit. But no, you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, down in the dumps, corner for Spurs, 94th minute, Richarlison, just wide. Bear in mind, while this was all going on, where you're in the sun for the first sunny day of the year.
Yeah, and the only part of the stadium that was in the sun was the away end. So. And
then the ball breaks loose up top, knocked down, cuts inside in front of the own fans, whips it in, 95th minute.
That's the only thing that was the player that scored and Bournemouth celebrated, but just run to the away end.
It's awful knee slide. So for someone who loves celebrations, just knee slide. It was knee slide in the area.
Yeah, and it gets stuck. But it's so annoying. It happens so much. The players just, and rightly so, they're concentrating. They're not concerned about where the fans are, but yeah, just have a little bit of common sense and just wheel off in front of the away end. There's nothing better. But yeah, that I did look at the away section, and yeah, like Tate said, the sun was out. I mean, I'm a very, very hot man, and people that know me understand that. But I was actually relatively cold at Spurs at the weekend, and I look at the Bournemouth end, like half of them had their tops off, singing whatever they're singing, going mental. So yeah, it was a great day.
I must make a note, singing the worst songs.
They went through
the whole playlist. What we got? Who are you?
Yeah.
You're not singing anymore.
What is what do they sing? Keep the red flag flying high. Like they just sing like Football League. Awful songs there. Yeah, but again, they won 3-2 and they had a great day. So
yeah, let's start with their seaside Are they near Brighton? I don't know. My geography's awful.
Yeah, relatively close.
Talking about Seaside. Totally
yeah,
the Seaside club. Brighton. What is really quite damning, I think, about this whole thing is we do every Friday, Saturday, we do the polls for the predictions, your Premier League predictions. We normally get about 20 people respond to them with your predictions and whatnot, which is really good, and keep doing that because I like seeing it. I'm interested in what people think.
Yeah.
There was not one vote for Chelsea.
No.
Everyone put either a draw, and the majority put Brighton win.
Yeah, that's probably the only result of the weekend. You never know football. You never know what happens, but yeah, I was relatively, I would say 90% confident that Brighton would win because of last week. Because against us, they should have won. They were good. They'll obviously have the ump. Obviously, that sort of weird Potter, Chelsea, Brighton link. And
before the game, brilliant. Jack was putting a bet together, and I was like, he said, "What should we bet?"
Yeah.
Welbeck goal, Welbeck goal. And he's like, "You sure?" Yeah, Welbeck goal. 2:00 comes round on the bench.
Doesn't start. I was like, Tuesday. Yeah, that's my money gone. But then, lo and behold, about 39th minute,
scores the equaliser.
Comes on, scores the goal.
And then they go on. And what was his name again? I've got it on the team of the week. Spoiler gets in the team of the week.
Enciso.
What a goal that is!
Ridiculous
and
strike.
While we're on players like that, they are continuing to keep grinding out these players from absolutely nowhere. The Paraguayan, they signed this summer for £3 million, whatever it was. I remember I saw him at Arsenal actually in the Carabao Cup, and he came on. I thought he looks a pretty tidy player. I haven't really seen much of him this season, but they're flying at the moment, aren't they, Brian? Like you said, they were stupidly unlucky last week.
They could have won back-to-back Tottenham and Chelsea, but they were basically robbed at Tottenham. They were, I think, recorded 20. Is it 26? I thought I had it.
26 shots.
26 shots against Chelsea, like 10 on target or something. The most ever that Chelsea have been up against. They just dominated the game. They and that's the other thing as well. We said about the predictions and the votes and stuff, is that Brighton won, but I thought nothing of it. I wasn't like, oh my god, Brighton. Like Bournemouth, if you beat Spurs, you'd be like, oh bloody hell. But there was none of it. It was like, it's to be expected, which is obviously shocking for Chelsea.
Because it'll be interesting in the summer. Because I think Casado will go and so will McAllister. Looks like they go, but you've got faith in Brighton. They'll keep the conveyor belt going, and they'll get more players in.
Yeah, they might suffer for a few weeks, but they'll find something or someone, and they'll just carry on.
Brighton have got a massive month coming ahead. They've got probably the biggest game in God knows how long on the weekend. United at Wembley in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and then Brighton are going to have a big say in the title race. They play Manchester City at home and they play Arsenal away. I think Arsenal have beaten them once in the Premier League at home.
Really?
We've got awful record there. Awful. So, that'll be very interesting for them. And De Zerbi, like we said, what a job he's doing as well.
Come in and almost... they've just got better, haven't they? They were brilliant. Everyone was saying how good they were with Potter, and that's why he got the job at Chelsea. But with De Zerbi, they've somehow got even better.
They currently sit 7th, 49 points. They're 2 games in hand on Spurs, and 2 games in hand on the team above them, Aston Villa.
And they're 7 points off 4th. I know they're obviously shorter with 6th and 5th, but and like you said, only played 29 compared to the rest. They could really fancy themselves.
And moving on to Aston Villa there, Emery, what a job he's doing there. I mean, I think I've made it quite clear on this podcast that I'm not his biggest fan in the world, but you can't take away from what they're doing. Since losing to Arsenal on the 18th of February, they've won 7 and drawn 1 of the last 8.
And on Emery, that it just shows you, yes, I know experience is not everything, and certain managers aren't as good, but he is a clear example that he's a much better option than a Lampard, a Gerrard. I know you like him, but Scott Parker, like these sorts of names that there are names because of their playing career, but Emery is a proven, not elite, but he's a top European manager, European level, and he's showing that at Villa. 5 in a row. Villa now 6th, 3 points off Spurs. They're hit them. Villa and Brighton are obviously massive outsiders for top 4, but both chasing Europe. And Emery's probably a perfect manager to have in charge.
Well, if Villa finish 6th or 5th, could you pick a perfect manager to get in charge in the Europa League?
Yeah, well, that
It's Arsenal
man,
won
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
And Villa play Spurs and United in the running, both ahead of them, so they've got opportunities to climb.
And Villa have already beat us at Spurs as well. So again, no fear when they come up against us.
And I said to you at the weekend, if I could hand pick a team and fixture for Man City to play, unfortunately I don't play them, which is annoying, but it would be under lights in a midweek game away at Villa Park, really? Now would be would be now. That's a tough game to go to play. Yeah. Like it's an evening game, get the fans up for it. Maybe on a Sunday afternoon, post a European away day, something like that. Emery would be up for it.
Yeah,
but as I mentioned before, that he always, for all his faults, I think Emery has, that he always gets his number 9 hitting goals, and Watkins is in the form of his life. He's equalled his best tally of 14 goals, and that was in the 2020-2021 fixture season. Sorry, but in the last 12 games prior to the World Cup, he got 3 goals. In the last 12 games, he scored 11 gols. That's a man is on fire. And he had one disallowed for VAR, marginally VAR, won it the weekend. Could have easily had a hat trick. I think he hit the post. Number of saves from Pope.
Yeah, at the weekend he scored twice and got an assist, didn't he?
Yeah. And one disallowed as well.
Yeah, and I think he said in the report about the game, but he's not like a huge striker. He's not a massive target man, but he holds the ball up incredibly. He's obviously runs all over the place, runs back fours ragged if he can. He's perfect for the way Emery plays and the way Villa play. And we mentioned a few of them in the team of the week when we move on to it, but they've just got a little squad there that's just good little players, European quality, if you like. And if they get into Europe, like you said, with Emery, they'll be well up for it.
And we have this question, this question gets batted around all the time: who is second for England after Kane? And that fluctuates. The answer fluctuates with form. Once it was Tammy, then it was Tony, then it was Ollie Watkins before, and it's come again. He's at the form now. He's got to be in the squad. If the squad is made tomorrow, he's got to be in there, isn't he?
Yeah, and Southgate was there at the weekend, wasn't he, as well? So.
Yeah, you've got to be impressed with what you saw. But yeah, they are. We said they're sitting in 6th, 3 points behind Spurs, but all games played. They're 6 off Newcastle, but Newcastle do have a game in hand. Maybe top 4 might be out of reach, but
yeah, I think those two sides, top 4, and even Emery said he's focused on getting into Europe. But yeah, Champions League is probably a stretch too far. But yeah, if they aim for that, who knows? They like you said, Tottenham have still got to play Villa. Villa have still playing some teams in and around them, and even Brighton. I know Arsenal and City are way above them, but those sort of games they should play better, and they could pick up points. So. Yeah, those two sides could easily finish above Tottenham, easily.
Well, it'll be interesting this weekend because obviously Man United have got Brighton and City have got Sheffield United. Yeah. If United and City win, 6th place opens up for Europa League, sorry. Because obviously the winner of that would get it, but United and City are going to finish the top 4. So that would then open 6th up, what means Villa would then be sitting in the Europa League spot.
Right.
Because at present it's only 5th.
Oh, is it? It's only 1.
Well, yeah, because the it drops down from the the
FA Cup.
Yeah, because now they've introduced that awful Conference League. That's what drops down to 7th.
Right.
Which is just nonsense. Right, we had a few questions from the listeners, didn't we? We asked for some questions. We came in. Do you want to run through some of them?
Yes. So the first one that came in actually from Miles that we mentioned earlier. And I'll aim this one at you, Tate. Have Arsenal blown the title race now?
Well, I've never said we're in a title race.
Wow.
No, but I haven't blown it. They've done something they shouldn't have done.
Yeah, a big no-no.
Everyone has said consistently it's going to come down to that game.
Yeah, and we knew that.
You navigate Southampton, and it comes down to that game.
Yeah.
And then it's... Come on, without who's got the bigger balls, who's better at football on that one day?
Who won't bottle it?
No, but it's not about bottle. If you lose 4-0 to Man City, it's because they're bloody good.
But I would say on the being 2-0 up at West Ham and drawing the game and missing a penalty that is bottling it.
Not bottling it would be going there and losing 1-0 like we played at Everton and playing horrifically. We got there 2-0 up, and we played like cocky shits for 20 minutes, and got hit on the nose, got a bloody nose, and don't really know how to deal with that. And that's a sign of a young team that is still learning their way to act like a big boy. That's what happened. That's what happened against Liverpool as well. We were absolutely flying at Liverpool. I've never seen a team dominate Liverpool at Anfield like that for 25 minutes. And you get the same again. You get a knock on the nose because of your pissing around with the ball again, not playing with that same intensity. Sometimes you take an extra touch. It doesn't help that you have two of your back four out, but it is what it is. We move on, and
we do move on. From Matt Devereaux, do you think Forest will survive?
No, I did think they would at some stage, but
their running's
I
really
would
tough.
say personally, people can disagree, or I'd like to know your thoughts on it. I think the bottom three,
as is,
are the bottom three now.
I would say so. And like I said before, I said last week, I think that three would stay the same, and it's easier to say that now because obviously the season's developed. People are down there and they're losing games here and there. But yeah, I just think Forest's running's awful. Southampton are dreadful, and they saw that again at the weekend. And yeah, Leicester, yes, they've got better players, but Dean Smith just doesn't do anything for me. And
Leicester have lost 20 games. It's the same amount of games as Southampton have lost.
And people say, oh yeah, but they've got this player. It doesn't matter. Like you said, with those players everyone's going on about, they've lost 20 games. They've lost 20 Premier League games. So yeah, I can't see it changing. I mean, it's not that simple, and it's not going to be that easy. But I don't think it'll be very close. Everton are not doing what everyone thought Dyche would do. And I thought
he's only won 3 games.
Yeah,
I heard that stat and I was like, really?
Yeah,
one of them against Arsenal as well.
Yeah, the result of the weekend for them was terrible, I'm thinking it'll go to the last game possibly. But yeah, I think the bottom three as they are doomed.
And then finally, do we have one more?
Sorry, yes. So that was Matt, and then Andy. He said, "This is for you, Tate. How's Tate's nerves for the title running?"
If we beat Southampton on Friday, that Wednesday game will be horrific.
Although obviously yes, you want to beat Southampton, but after that game, you're gonna be in a bad way. Yeah,
well, I get nervous enough, and like if I don't go to the game, people who
I bet your phone lights up.
Phone goes in the other room. I don't.
No, but I'm sure people are.
Oh no, but this is. I've said this, Griff. This is what makes me laugh though. When Arsenal win, the group chat is like
somber.
When we lose, oh my god!
But that's because those in the chat are we're the most vocal about football in our team. So, and it's funny when you're 2-0 up. That Miles has been sending in some good stuff.
Oh, he nearly got blocked. So if he tried to ring me, I'll go away. I don't want to talk to you.
Brilliant.
But no, I'm so superstitious. If a game's on TV and I'm watching it at home. I sit in the same crevice in my sofa.
Don't move.
TV is on 30, exactly on 30. My left hand goes across my chest under my right armpit. My right hand is on my face scratching my beard. And my left leg crosses over to my right leg touching my right ankle. And I do not move throughout the game. Even at half time, I sit there and I do not move. I try not to celebrate because you never know VAR, so I just sit there, stare at the screen, and then after full time, if the result is good, my God, is there a scream or a shout? And normally I get cramp in my legs. The amount of times I sweat and have to have a shower after watching a game of football on TV is horrific.
Oh, that game, yeah. Hope you win. You beat Southampton, and it is the big final. Man City away.
Well. Before that, I'm actually going to a massive final on the Tuesday. Arsenal versus West Ham Youth Cup game. Cup final, yeah.
Where is it?
Is it at the Emirates? Yeah.
Oh, it's at the Emirates.
Jack Wilshere's Arsenal.
The Youth Cup final.
Yeah.
The Arsenal are in is at Emirates.
Yeah.
Nice. Under 18s, isn't it? Youth Cup.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
Right. No, thank you for them questions, listeners. And let's move on to our final 2 segments of the show: winner and loser, and team of the week. What one should we start with?
Let's go team of the week.
Perfect.
Because we haven't mentioned some of the other games.
Right. Starting off with a goalkeeper that you picked, and I thought, I didn't even realise he was playing, and then I looked at it, and he hasn't played all season apart from the last 2 games. And this
Roy's
is
got involved.
Sam Johnson of Crystal Palace. But Hodgson's got involved. Maybe there's been an injury, but he's come in. They've won 5-1 away at Leeds, and they've just won 2-0 away at Southampton. Clean sheet, first game of the season. I think.
That's like you said. The reasons for it is, I guess, when the goalies are hard sort of on team of the week because you sort of look at clean sheets, but then when they get a clean sheet, they don't necessarily play the best game. But yeah, for that reason, you said Johnson's not been involved at all. Roy's come back in. He's had an injury, yes, but yeah, he's come back in. Last 2 games, got some good wins, and yeah, clean sheet against Southampton. Fantastic result.
Moving on to the defence, we had Alex Moreno and Craig Dawson. Moreno especially, I remember watching the half-time show at Spurs.
Yeah, we watched it a bit before.
My God, it was like a Moraining left back down the left-hand side. I think he maybe even got an assist, but he was causing havoc, working up well with Jacob Ramsey and Watkins. That one just playing really well. And Craig Dawson looked to have one of his classic head kick in games.
I don't really. He may have been awful, but on match day he done one massive tackle. I was like, "You're going in." Yeah. I thought, big old bricks at centre half.
Heads, all those, kicks, anything, and kept Tony quiet all game.
Yeah, no, and I think the tackle was on Tony, and there was they just battered Tony for about 10 seconds. But yeah, Craig Dawson's in there, and the first midfielder is Eze from Palace. He scored twice. Twice, he scored both for the weekend for Palace. Just brilliant. Since Roy's come back in, Elise, found a bit of form, looking confident, and he scored a brilliant goal. Scored twice for Palace, and he slots in the midfield next to Julio
Enciso.
Yeah, we'll go Enciso.
The Paraguay midfielder. Obviously we were out all Saturday. I didn't really see much of the goals or hear anything. And then I was watching Match of 8, and that went in, and I was like, me and Alberto looked at each other like, what? And it's one of them ones, the commentator said, I know it's a cliche, when you know it's in as soon as he leaves his foot, and my God, you do. Once you then watch it back knowing it's like, opens up, what a hit. Great celebration as well, like you said, goes straight to the away fans.
Stands on the board as well, he loves it.
Even not being funny, he scored the winning goal at Stamford Bridge, and that's the winning goal in Newgate. On to the fans' vote between 2 English strikers. Ollie Watkins is a regular in these teams at the moment.
Like you said, the form, that's an easy pick in a minute.
Ollie Watkins and Dom Solanke was the vote. Ironically enough, yourself and I were the only 2 people who voted for Solanke.
Yeah, I watched him in the flesh.
I watched his masterclass.
Yeah. What a player! But no, he was good, wasn't he? Good.
A goal and 2 assists.
But no, Watkins, yes, landslide, 8%. So
it was a landslide, yeah.
Yep, straight in. What was it? 2 goals and assists for Watkins. So
yeah.
Again, like we said earlier, very good performance. He's a main reason for their success at the minute. Emery's obviously loving him as well, and Watkins goes in,
and he can feel himself unfortunate because he missed out last week of the team of the week. Yeah. I'm sure that really hurt him though. Yeah, missing out.
And to be honest, we spoke about Haaland, but Joey scores twice in 45 minutes and gets subbed off. He just rest him for the big game when it comes. But Watkins slots in. So that team week: Sam Johnson in goal, Craig Dawson, Moreno, Eze, Enciso, and Watkins.
That's very good. Moving on to winner of the week.
Start us off.
Yeah, I'll start us off. Well, this one's quite timely actually. A good theme. My winner of the week is Iron Robin.
Ooh.
As some of you know, I'm attempting to run a marathon on
How's
Sunday.
That going?
Well, I haven't run in 5 weeks.
Oh, God.
So I've been advised by the GP not to run as well. So we shall see. Miles rang me earlier and said, "Are you running?" And I said, "I am going to try and run."
You'll be there.
I'll be there, whatever state I am in the following hours. But Iron Robin is my winner of the week. After completing the Rotterdam Marathon, his second marathon he's done in the last 2 years, in a time of 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Wow,
that is incredible.
That is
incredible. And they say anything under 4 hours is like very good. 2 hours and 58 minutes is unbelievable.
Robin was out with us Saturday, wasn't he? Was that after his marathon?
That's before, I think. No, I thought that's an unbelievable achievement for someone who's
Yeah.
like 39 as well. I don't know. I know he's an ex-athlete, but
Yeah.
that's just
No,
unbelievable
it's
achievement.
very good. Very good.
Yourself?
My winner of the week, we've actually mentioned him. Julio Enciso, 19 years old, the Paraguayan, scored an absolute belter at Chelsea. It's actually his second goal for Brighton, but it's still yet to complete a full game for Brighton, and produces that goal. After, like I said earlier about their result, but disappointing result of Spurs, a perfect way to move on. That's their first league win at Stamford Bridge, and Julio Enciso, is he another Brighton gem?
Perfect. My loser of the week, staying at Stamford Bridge.
Nice.
My mate, Frank Lampard.
Oh, we could have picked anyone.
Could have picked a lot of people there. Super Frank. 3 games back, 3 games lost, 1 goal scored via the biggest deflection we'll see all season. You had Gallagher running around like he'd scored a worldie. Real Madrid up next. I think, like I mentioned on this show before, Frank, in the summer, you need to go and do what you were born to do, apart from play football, because no credit, no, whether you were a fantastic footballer, but you were put on this planet after play football, after you retired, to be the captain of the Questioner Sport team. That is your attitude, your personality, an absolute nutshell. You can be a little bit serious, a little joke, and then serious. You can do that, have a laugh, get a bit paid, all this stuff. It's easier than being a pundit. You do it every, I don't know, even salon, chat to Sue Barker, like, just have a lovely time. Before you still got Matt, who was the England ex-rugby captain, who was
Matt
over
Dawson.
there. Matt Dawson over there, yeah. But yes, a bit
Phil
of fun in
Tufnell.
it, a bit of Phil Tufnell or Linda Barker, a bit of fun in it. It's a happy-go-lucky sort of soul. That's what you have to go do, mate.
But even like on Lampard, when they the other week when they had Madrid in the Champions League, like before the game on TV, live TV, BT Sport. I know they try and get the managers in, but he's like laughing and joking with Rio, and like he's as if he's still on the panel just talking about the game, and then he walks off, and then he manages against the biggest team in the world. Like, he just needs to go to punditry, go to Questioner Sport, go to a league of their own.
Yeah, league of their own. Yeah, go be your cousin.
Yeah, travel America with James Corden and Redknapp. Go be your cousin.
Yeah, that's what it's there for, isn't it? That's why didn't even think about that? Like, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
perfect. Yeah. And yourself?
My loser of the week is Ewan Anderson. He's a referee originates from Dumbarton in Scotland, and he's officiated over 360 professional Scottish football games. But this weekend, when he had to review a possible red card in the game between Ross County and Aberdeen, he couldn't work out how to signal the VAR review. Ewan, first name basis, attempts to draw the VAR screen, and I'll show Tate now how he did it. But he draws it. He draws it like a circle. He can't just draw a simple rectangle. His arm all goes wrong. So I'll post a video if you've not seen it. Just type in Ewan Anderson referee and it comes up. But yeah, the player was inevitably sent off for a terrible tackle. But yeah, I was more concerned with Mr. Anderson's drawing of the VAR screen than the actual decision. So
yeah, I have to post it on the story.
Get the video out. It's well worth a watch if you've not seen it.
That's quality. Right, before we end, let's go back to the teaser. Tough one tonight. Well, it's Leeds versus Liverpool. What is was it 4:15 or half-past? Can't tell by the time though.
8:30.
8:30. What is the score? What's the scores on the doors?
Live score 0-0.
0-0. Right, I haven't missed much.
No.
Leeds versus Liverpool tonight. A total of 13 players have featured for both Liverpool and Leeds in the Premier League. Can you name 5? And I'll give you a bonus point for every one you have over that.
James Milner.
Your eyes lit up.
Because I thought of one. I thought of one actually. James Milner, Harry Kewell.
Oh, great shout.
Oh, they had another one. Pennant.
Oh yes.
Yes, that's it. I knew Milner and Pennant off the bat. Harry Kewell when you mentioned the question again. This is where we could struggle. Oh.
The reason I said 5 because I did not expect, but there are
a couple names.
You'll kick yourself when you.
Oh, El Ajouf.
Yes, that's not one I thought you'd get, but that is a great shout.
Who played for Leeds? I've got 4. I want to get one more. Goalies. I'm struggling now.
If you want a clue, I'll give you a clue. I'll give you the position.
Go on.
That you should aim to look at. Strikers.
God.
There's 3 big name strikers here.
Oh, don't say that. So I'm thinking of Leeds in their, like the classic, the classic white kit. That's where I got, like, when Harry Kewell played for him, when LH Juve played for him. I don't know if they were sponsored by Strongbow or something.
Yeah, Strongbow was there.
Like that sort of era. That's what I'm thinking. That's when they played for Leeds. Strikers.
2 of them are more synonymous with Liverpool.
Oh, this is hard. Did Fowler?
Yep.
He played for Leeds, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say him because I thought it'd be horribly wrong, but
yep.
I reckon that's it. Otherwise, I'll be here too long, I reckon. And go give some clues, and then you can reel off some.
All-time Liverpool great, which I didn't even know he played. This is I didn't have no idea he played for Leeds.
What position?
Striker,
all time. No, I wouldn't know. Go on.
Ian Rush.
Ian Rush, yeah, I would never have said him, no.
The Leeds kit you're thinking of, whether you would have known he played for Liverpool, I didn't know. I know now knowing he played for Liverpool because I can picture him in the old kit, but he's more synonymous with Leeds. Dominic Matteo,
right.
Big old lump at the back.
I wouldn't know, yeah, I'd never have said him.
Gary McAllister.
Yeah.
I only remember him
I know
Liverpool,
him, but
though.
yeah, again, never would have said him.
Slightly newer ones here. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, Warnock. That's a rogue one, yeah.
Nicky Barmby.
Never.
This one I thought you could get.
Go on, wait. Position?
Striker.
Oh, no. What nationality? Is it too obvious?
Ex-Spurs.
Nationality, though.
Can't give you that. It's too obvious that. If I say ex-Spurs.
Oh, Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these 2. Scott Carson.
Never getting that.
And then this one, I've got no idea who this bloke even is. Apologies. Lee Peltier.
Lee Peltier. Yeah, he's a Football League legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of Greg's mates.
Yeah. Maybe if I saw him or saw a picture of him.
You'd know him, yeah,
but
yeah.
He plays only because he's played 4 times for Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I would never have said him.
I'd
do right. I said 5.
5.
Probably.
I wanted. That's what I thought. I'd give you 5.
Yeah, maybe if I had a little thought a bit longer, maybe Keane would have come to me, but not bad effort. Good question, though.
I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, because last night I was sitting on the sofa watching Roma versus whoever, Udinese was. I thought I was all footballed out by then. I was sulking, and Alberto goes to me, "Where'd you get these teasers from?" And I said, "I actually have to make them up each week."
Yeah, his own brain.
He goes, "How do you think about it?" And I said, "I don't know. It comes to me about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think, no, that's what I'm going to do."
Yeah, that's no. But again, that question, like you said, might have been hardest, but also one of the good ones.
Yeah.
No, they are good. They're random. They're a bit different. So, yes.
Right. No. Thank you very much again for listening. Before we go, though, I just want to say thank you to everyone last week that shared, listened, reposted the Rocket episode.
Yeah.
What a bloke he is.
Yeah.
Straight away. Trying to keep
it
under secret for a couple of weeks was hard because I was so excited for that because we both watched it. You know he's full of energy. You knew it was going to be great fun.
Yeah.
And for me and Jack, who don't do this as a living, we've only done 43 episodes before, he put us at such ease. Yeah. And hopefully that came out in the interview as well, that he was just...
He's just a normal fella, and he, like I said in the thing, but a slight bit of fame, like he said, a recognisable face, but...
A recognisable face, those who know football.
Yeah, exactly. Who watch... You don't even have to be good or whatever, follow a team, but yeah, Soccer M was on everyone's screens, and having Rocket was brilliant, and getting to talk to him was, and... We were very, very lucky, and like you said, just really appreciate all the comments and shares and likes, and even people now that have started listening. Don't get me wrong, we love doing what we're doing, and I don't care if one person listens to it, but the fact that you get random people that I know but message you like, "Oh yeah, mate, listen to this," and that was so good, blah blah. It's brilliant. It's really good.
And like we said before, if you have listen to it or pass it to a mate or do whatever, because like we said, we really appreciate all the feedback and the comments, and it sort of not vindicates it, but you know what I mean, when you when you feel like you've done a real good episode like that,
Yeah.
and it was real fun to watch and listen back, and
that's that one. I was excited for myself to listen to it because I'm not listening to myself. We just allow them to talk, and we want to hear them and hear their stories and hear what they have to say. So yeah, it was good, and it was brilliant, and appreciate everyone that's listened to it and continuing to listen to us.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week. Apologise in advance if I'm moaning and groaning every time I move, because it will be the day after. Yeah, he might be after the marathon.
Might be in a wheelchair, but he'll be here.
But we'll chat next week on the week that was Champions League. No, I'm assuming the draw will have happened.
Yeah.
For the Europa League, Champions League, Conference League, the FA Cup final will nose in there. And
lean into the big City Arsenal game.
Yeah, there's plenty to happen, and thank you again all for listening.
Yep, thank you.
And stay loyal.
Stay loyal.